Have you ever wanted something so badly? Perhaps a dream, but life keeps giving you reasons why it will never happen? Not enough money, not enough time, too many obstacles, too impossible, maybe even too late. And yet, when I opened my Bible, I felt God asking me one simple question. Will you believe the facts, or will you believe me? My devotion are in Matthew chapter 8 verses 23 to 27 where Jesus calms the storm, and Matthew chapter 8 verses 5 to 13 which is all about the centurion's faith. My standout verses are Matthew chapter 8 verse 26, which I will read first. Jesus said to them, "Why are you afraid, you men of little faith?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and it became perfectly calm. Matthew chapter 8, verses 8 and then 13. But the centurion replied, "Lord, I am not worthy for you to come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed." Verse 13. And Jesus said to the centurion, "Go, it shall be done for you just as you have believed." And the servant was healed at that very moment. Last night, hubby and I saw a buff, muscular man who looks like a bodybuilder, and it reminded me of a dream he once had to step on a bodybuilding stage and compete. So I brought it up, saying, "Hey, I remember you said before that it's your dream to compete and that you'll try out this year." But he goes saying he doesn't want to anymore, that he doesn't have the money to do so, and citing all reasons why he cannot do it, and that bodybuilding is not for him, saying that the costs are high, competition preparation requires money, time, coaching, supplements, and months of commitment, that it could affect his work performance and income. He worries about depleting his savings, that he has lots of other more important urgent expenses to take care of, so there's no way he can compete, and that he feels it might be too late already compared to others who began competing in their younger years. All those things. Everything he said was true. That's the reality of the current situation. From a human perspective, the obstacles seem very real and very reasonable. But as I listened, I realized that this is exactly where faith is tested. Do we only believe when circumstances look favorable? Or do we trust God even when reality seems to say otherwise? So, hubbies told me all these reasons. That is the reality. Those are the facts. That is the current situation. But today, Jesus spoke to me about faith and the furious storm that made waves crash and sweep over the boat that Jesus and his disciples were in, that it made the disciples worry so much and panic. So, these are the facts during that specific event. There's a furious, turbulent storm. The waves are so big that they engulf their boat. Their feelings of fear and worry are normal because of the scary event. They were sure that because of the circumstances, their boat is about to be capsized, and so they feared for their lives as they might drown and die. But then, in the midst of all these scary moments and sureball looming tragedy, Jesus was just chilling and sleeping. I mean, how could someone sleep during a heavy storm and crashing waves? So the disciples woke Jesus up, and so Jesus got up and called out his disciples because of their little faith on why they were so afraid when he was with them, like physically. So, yes, that is their reality during that event in the storm in the boat. But God is saying, God, He is stronger and mightier than our reality, than our current situations, than the furious turbulence, scary storms, than the crushing, engulfing waves. So, for us, the facts all speak the dream will never come true, there is no way, it's too impossible. But God is not a human. He doesn't think like a human does. He can calm the storm and the wind and the waves if we just believe. We might think things are bad. We might think everything is going downhill. This is not for me. It will never happen. This is my reality and my dreams will never happen. There's just no way. But God can turn anything into good. You just have to believe and have faith, he said. So, no, I will never give up on hubby's bodybuilding dream. I will continue believing God will provide for what we don't have. Now, there is another amazing revelation that I saw. This is with the centurion, the story about the centurion's great faith, which Jesus commented that he said it is the greatest faith he had ever found that time when he said it. So I looked it up, and a centurion is not an Israelite, but a commander of a Roman army. He is not from Israel, the land of Jacob, the promised land, but an outsider from a foreign land, Rome, which is their invader. And yet, Jesus commended his faith and did not make an exemption and still helped him. This speaks that anyone can come to Jesus and he accepts anyone who comes to him and asks for help. The centurion was aware of this, that he is an outsider. He is not an Israelite, he is not a Jew. And he even admitted that he is not worthy to have Jesus under his roof. He was humble but has great faith that Jesus won't have to come with him physically to his house, but that Jesus only has to say the word and he knows his servant will be healed. Such great faith. And so Jesus said the word, told him to go, and that it would be done for him just as he believed it would. And so the centurion took Jesus' word and went on his way, and the servant was healed by just Jesus' word. Now, take note, the centurion was of a great title and standing. He was a high personal, he had many servants and soldiers. And yet, one thing I noticed is he was not abusive of his power and authority, but rather he was very kind and caring to his servants, that he even asked Jesus to heal his servant, a mere servant. He was not abusive of his power, was not prideful and arrogant, but he was kind, humble, and even treated his servants as equal. Because the servant in question even lives in his house. So I just see hubby in the centurion because, truth be told, hubby is not a Christian yet. Yes, he believes in God, but hasn't accepted Jesus into his life yet, personally as his personal Lord and Savior. But like the centurion, hubby is humble and kind to everyone and treats everyone the same, is beloved by everyone around him, despite the status, everyone who knows him, everyone he speaks to. So I take into heart this story of the centurion and his great faith, and how, because of his massive faith, Jesus accepted him too and helped him, despite him being a Roman and not an Israelite. And so I believe that Jesus can do the same to hubby. Now, going back to the bodybuilding topic, I know that hubby wants to compete. That's his dream, to experience competing in the bodybuilding stage. But like I said, all the facts are saying no, it's impossible. There's no way. Yes, so he thinks it might just be a pipe dream. But I believe and will continue believing. Maybe it will not happen now, not anytime soon this year, but I believe that it will surely happen. I take Jesus' word, believe. I profess and claim that hubby will get to rise to the stage of bodybuilding and compete before he turns 35. Jesus said, "Go and let it be done just as you believe it would." So I believe that it will happen. I will believe and have faith just as the centurion did. Now, just another revelation. Come to think of it, um, the disciples who follow Jesus, who are, already in the faith, the disciples who are Jewish, the Israelites, Jesus called them out because of their little faith. And yet, the centurion, who is a foreigner, a Roman, Jesus commended him for having the greatest faith he had ever found that time. You know, just the irony. So I remember when hubby used to call me out that I am a Christian, and yet it seems like I don't act like one because I was extremely negative that time. I mean, most of the time. So I just felt called out when I realized the irony between the disciples and the centurion. It's just amazing. It just goes to show that culture, race, ethnicity, your past, your status, your background, all of those things, they do not matter to God at all. What matters is your faith in Him, that you believe in Him and in who He is and in what He can do. To have faith over facts.